Right, okay.
So as a lot of you may know, I've recently done some overview videos of the Simpsons Hit and Run for the PS2, and if you haven't, of course, please follow this link on screen and check them out.
It's gonna cost me.
But this here will be my short review of the game. Now, as I've mentioned in my videos, this is a game I played in my past, so it was a great nostalgia trip for me, having like many of us grown up with the series. And it's still funny and enjoyable, as it's filled with fourth wall breaks, long-running gags from the series, and satirical comments.
Learn to drive, dumbass!
That's not to say that all the jokes could be considered as PC today. I personally think that Krusty's comment that it'd help a poo if he looked, you know, American, is a bit out of taste today.
You'll have better luck if you know, look American.
Thank you, horrible man.
The game's missions are quite fun, with races, collecting items and destroying vehicles being key objectives of them, but despite this, a bit more variety would be nice, as they are quite repetitive in their style. And in relation to the game's difficulty, it gradually increases as you go up the levels, but the main difficulty in the later levels comes from the tightening of time limits, which ultimately comes down to you have to either get it perfect, or you have to do it again, and again, and again, until you do. The game's plot though is one of its best bits, as although some of the missions seem like they go on a bit of a tangent, they do all work together to pull off a narrative that feels like it's been pulled straight out of an episode of the series.
Marge, that black van is spying on us.
Oh, homie, you're so sexy when you're paranoid.
But this great narrative would be nothing without the wonderfully constructed settings of the levels. All the level designers do a really great job in immersing you and making you feel like you're in Springfield. Sure, you could argue that there's only 3 variations to the levels and that they're tweaked slightly each time, but I feel that this isn't an issue, as Springfield is obviously a town, and if there were 7 different maps, it would feel a bit too big and a bit too diluted. So the immersion is a lot better when there's only 3 variations of the levels. Then when it comes to the bonus content of the game, these are fun little additions. Sure, they're not amazingly constructed, but they're great little things just to extend your gameplay and make you feel like you're getting your money's worth out of the game. But taking all this into account, I'd happily give the game an 8 out of 10, as it was full of enjoyable content and had some difficulty which made it interesting from a gamer's perspective, but it was only brought down by its repetitive mission styles. But this rating is right in line with that of other media critics, such as those found on Metacritic, GameSpot and IGN, showing that despite the fact that the game is now 18 years old, it is still highly enjoyable. So here's to hoping that it does get that remaster that it's been hinted about.
I have road rage and I know how to use it.